All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. I'm Gonzo, joined like always by the Judge. Uh, been a crazy night tonight in sports. We'll jump in that to here in just a second. How you doing tonight, Judge?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Happy Friday to you. It's the weekend. I know a lot of people enjoy the weekend. That's their only 2 days off. The weekend, unfortunately, as we all know, go by super fast. But you're right. There has been a bombshell in Major League Baseball today. There has been breaking news in Major League Baseball, and we will get right into it. I'm very, very surprised that this news has not broken the internet. Like the internet is still working perfectly fine. No server is down. There's no technical difficulties with the internet because this, my friend, was very massive. What we're about to get into, and we're gonna dive into it for our audience. I'm gonna let you have the floor now and tell everyone if they don't know what happened today in Major League Baseball. I mean, this is a major shakeup in Major League Baseball. It's a heartbreaker for this team that we're about to talk about. And it was something that I don't think those fans from that particular fan base were looking forward to.
No, definitely not. Before we jump into that real quick, let me plug a couple things real quick. Don't forget, we're live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. You on Facebook, or no, excuse me, on YouTube at the Sports Judge, and then on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at the All Sports All Plays ASAP Network. You can also find me at 3 p.m. Eastern every day with the Easy Money, a sports betting show. That's live on the ASAP Sports Network and on the Gonzo Sports Room Network. Also, I want to announce a couple shows real quick. New, if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, new show starting Monday. It's going to be every Monday, Wednesday, or no, excuse me, Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be called Horseshoe Talk. So if you're a Colts fan, come join me and my dad for that. Mondays and Wednesdays at 6. And then also starting on Monday morning at 9 a.m., me and the stat guy are going to be doing a baseball show. That's going to start this Monday at 9. Just be on the lookout for that. I'll get the name and the graphic and stuff done here a little bit later. It's kind of all coming together a little quick, but so be on the lookout for them two shows. But no, Judge, you're right. There's been a lot going on.
There has been a lot going on.
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez says hi.
What's up, Tony? What's up, Tony? What's up, Glenn? What's
we'll
up?
Get into that. Yeah, Glenn.
Frankie is
Frankie's done with the Yankees bullpen.
Yes.
Hell yeah, I'm checking that out. I'm going to the Lions game next Saturday. Oh, Glenn, nice. if everything goes right, hopefully I'll have some credentials here soon and be able to be at some of them games.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? We were supposed to go to a Rams preseason game. You know what happened? We purchased the tickets, right? But the game is played in Cincinnati.
Oh, you bought tickets for an away game?
For an away game.
Did they refund you?
Not yet, but we're looking for people who might be willing to purchase the ticket. And, because I network and because I know podcasters all over, I reached out to two of my good podcasting buddies in Cincinnati. Maybe they might know someone out there. Maybe they might be interested in going, but I've never made that mistake before. Well, we've never made that mistake before.
Hey, sometimes things happen. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, biggest thing that happened, we'll start there. Fernando Tatis Jr. Suspended 80 games for violating the Major League Baseball performance enhancing drug policy. I got a couple of thoughts on this, but I'm gonna let you go first. What are your thoughts on this? Do you like that they suspended them for 80 games? Do you think that's too many, not enough? What's your thoughts on this whole situation with Tatis testing positive?
Well, I mean, the San Diego Padres were dealt a huge blow Let's get that out of the way. I mean, they were anticipating for him to make a comeback at some point this season, and now that won't come to fruition. You know what, Chris? This is going to continue to happen in Major League Baseball. PEDs is something that has been around for a very long time. It has had a negative impact on the game of baseball, but I find it fascinating that they harp on it more in Major League Baseball than they do in any other professional sports. So was the suspension harsh? Maybe it was. Was 80 games too much? Maybe it was a bit too much. Fernando Tatis, I believe, wrote a statement apologizing. He even went into detail what he used the drug specifically for. 80 games is a bit harsh, but there's going to be people who agree with it. There's going to be people who disagree with it. Performance enhancing drugs, a lot of people seem to believe that it does not have any effect on the player's natural abilities to swing the bat and hit the ball. This is a touchy topic for a lot of people. Did he deserve the 80 game suspension? I don't know if he did or not. I don't know. I don't know. I think
what did he say he was using it for?
From my understanding, he was using it for something, a ringworm or something like that.
Ringworm? Okay.
That's what I heard. According to his statement.
Okay. I haven't dug into it that deeply. I need to
statement. He was using it. He was using it for to prevent something that was going on with him.
Yeah, hold on. I'll look it up in just a second.
So, but from what I heard, it was a wingworm or something like that. Why he was using it? But again, he violated baseball's, drug policy.
Yeah. See, Dustin says Tatis is done in San Diego. AJ Preller is not happy, called Tatis immature, and now is digging into his history further.
Well, you had the previous incident, right, which was the motorcycle. That wasn't a smart decision. That was, utterly childish in a way. You have to be careful. You have to make smarter decisions, especially when a team is paying you over $300 million to be the franchise cornerstone. And it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's like, you get one step ahead and then something else happens that takes you a step back. And that's what we've been seeing. That's been the pattern with Fernando Tatis Jr.
Here's what I don't understand with these players. They give you a list of things you cannot put in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have ringworm I've dealt with ringworm because that's something you see a lot in wrestling and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is, they give you like an antifungal cream, and yes, some of the antifungal creams that they give you have a steroid in it.
Right.
But here's my thing. You know what you can and can't put in your body. You take that list with you to your doctor and say, I need something that was going to help me treat this, but here's what I'm not allowed to use. And then, that way, then there's no confusion about it. That doctor can find something that's going to help you that does not have that in it.
Right.
So I'm tired of hearing this excuse. All I didn't know was take that damn list to your doctor, whoever you're getting your supplements from or whatever, and say, here, I can't have anything that has this in it. If you can't help me with that, I'll go somewhere else. But this is how I have to go. there's too many athletes that try to use that as an excuse.
Right. And you
But,
gotta know
but here's the main question.
your
Why
body.
do we bury guys in Major League Baseball more for it than what we do in like the NFL
Right.
or in other sports? Like nobody's talking about Hopkins violating NFL thing going to be out 6 games. It don't get talked about very much.
Right. It doesn't.
But in baseball, you're going to get buried a lot more for it.
Right.
PEDs and steroids. I guess because of the steroid era, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But you're going to get a lot more heat on you out of the NBA or not the NBA, the MLB than what you're going to get out of the if it happens like in the NFL.
Right. And when that news broke today, it shocked the hell out of me. Like I think most of us were very surprised and extremely disappointed to hear the news that Fernando Tatis Jr. had tested positive to performance enhancing substance, in violation of the Major League Baseball joint prevention. I don't think anyone saw that coming. I think we were all blindsided by that one. I'm very, very surprised to hear that. It's a bad look for him. This is something that will leave a mark, on his career. I mean, this will leave a permanent scar, unfortunately. I mean, this is one way you stain your legacy. And it's bad now. We talked about this guy being a generational talent, a one-of-a-kind player. And now he's going to be labeled a fraud by a lot of people. A lot of people who are, not going to see him as that guy. So it's just bad for him. It's bad for Major League Baseball. It's bad for the Padres and their fans. Because again, you was looking to have that 1, 2, 3 in your lineup with Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Juan Soto. And maybe it was a good thing that AJ Preller decided to go all in, before the trade deadline. Because if he didn't, this offense of theirs and that batting lineup will be very thin. If they didn't acquire Juan Soto, Josh Bell, Brandon Drury, so those trades at the deadline, they have turned out to be huge for the Padres, even though the Padres are kind of, are trying their hardest to stay afloat and get that final wild card spot. But now it's going to be very difficult without your guy, Fernando Tatis Jr., because now he's also ineligible for the postseason. You won't have him for the postseason. So if you do qualify for the playoffs, you're going to have to win without him. And that's not going to be easy for the Padres. It's going to be a tough task for the Padres to win without their superstar shortstop.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Dustin said that the Tatis contract will go down as one of the worst contracts in history. He was way too young to get that deal and has proven to be the Johnny Manziel of the MLB.
Ooh, harsh. That's harsh. That's tough right there, stat guy.
Hi, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, Brian? Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in.
But yeah, it just sucks because Tatis got hurt, and everybody was getting excited that he was coming back, wanted to see what he was going to look like with Soto in that lineup now. Mm-hmm. And then now we're not going to get to see that till at the earliest next season. And that's if he's still a Padre by then. And it's touchy about this too. I mean, to me, you got to take a list to your doctor. But also, there should be something in this, like, because there is sometimes a doctor will give you something that has a steroid to treat something. Mm-hmm. So they need to get that kind of something worked out there where this don't happen. But I agree. The players need to be responsible enough. You have the list. Take that list with you, and this wouldn't happen.
Right. Right.
Now, back in like the original steroid era, I don't ding on Major League Baseball for that or I don't ding on the players like Bonds and them for that because everybody knew it was going on. Major League Baseball knew it was going on. and they done nothing about it because it was bringing back baseball. But to me, this is different because now baseball does have rules in place. They have been enforcing them. So I'm not going to get on Major League Baseball for suspending them for 80 games because since Congress got involved back when all that happened with the steroids, and they made the rules to start testing for it and cracking down on it. Baseball stayed pretty consistent with it, where if you get caught with it, you're getting a pretty stern suspension.
Right.
So even though I hate it because it does hurt the game of baseball because Tatis is a young, exciting player to watch. But also I'm not going to get mad and ding baseball on it because they're not doing it ain't like they're punishing him harsher or doing something outrageous. They're basically doing business as usual, and they're letting these players know you violate the policy.
Right.
There's a stern price to pay.
Right, and that's exactly what I was going to get to, and you just alluded to it. They're using him as an example. Okay, look, you have to abide by these rules, and if you're not going to, there will be consequences. There will be repercussions. And, Major League Baseball, Major League Baseball doesn't mess around with this. They have this policy in place for a reason, and they expect their players to follow it. And the players have to, live up to those expectations and abide by those rules. And if they can't, then they will serve a lengthy suspension for violating the policy, that's in place, but again, this is heartbreaking if you're a Padres fan, and this is the last thing you wanted to hear. And this news broke before the game tonight against the Nationals and Juan Soto's return since being traded to San Diego. So, a lot was going on tonight, and then you had that news. So it's just crazy right now to even think about it. But like you said, Chris, you got to know what you're putting in your body. You have to educate yourself on this. You have to be more knowledgeable, and you have to be more mature and be smart and don't use poor judgment. You got to use sound judgment and make sure you do everything necessary to keep your body right, to keep your mind right, and to stay out of trouble. And that's a huge one it's obviously a huge one for Fernando Tatis Jr. He needs to discipline himself more. And if he's serious about this team, and if he's serious about his teammates, and if he's serious about winning the game, he's going to have to put more time into the game, and he's going to have to stay out of trouble and make sure he's using substances that doesn't violate the policy, the drug policy.
Yeah, no, I agree. But then that's not the only big news we had tonight. Zach Wilson goes down for the Jets tonight in the preseason game. Hearing it's a knee. I haven't seen the injury yet, but I did see her. I think it was a non-contact injury, which makes it to me even worse. Usually, them are the worst kinds of injuries. And the Jets have not had a great week, and this is so crazy because everybody was talking about how great the Jets did in the NFL draft this year. They finally didn't mess it up. They drafted right. They done this. Well, now they lose one of their best offensive linemen in Becton to injury. He's going to be out. And then now you might have lost your second-year quarterback, and with the knee injury, who knows? It could. I hate to say it, but it could be. Oh yeah, I'm watching right here. He wasn't touched, and like I said, injuries like that are a lot of times worse. So they might have just lost their second-year quarterback that they were hoping was going to be the guy to turn it around, and now. Do you think with let me ask you this. Wilson went down, Dustin saying it's a torn ACL. I didn't want to say that because I hadn't heard anything. That's why I figured it probably was. In comes Joe Flacco. What I think they do, I think they're going to trade for Jimmy G. Do you think that there's a good chance that the Jets trade for Jimmy G if Zach Wilson's going to miss the season. Hear me out on this. Salah, the head coach, was in San Francisco with Jimmy G.
Mm-hmm.
So you think maybe the Jets might go the Jimmy G route now that if it comes out after this MRI on Monday that Zach Wilson is done for most of the season or maybe all season?
Look, there's a great possibility that this could happen. They had a great relationship in San Francisco. There's familiarity there. The two guys know each other. Um, you know, um, Jimmy G has worked with him before. Ran the offense under him. So yeah, I can see that happening. And now that you're in dire need of a quarterback, and if you don't trust in Joe Flacco to lead your offense, why not try to make an offer to acquire Jimmy G? Try to bring some hope to New York for once. Try to change the trajectory on their, upcoming season. The outlook for the Jets season changed, you know, an instant on Friday night because of one bad injury to their quarterback who they, invested in, who they feel is their guy moving forward in the future. But now he goes down with an injury. So now you have to consider making another move. Do they go for Jimmy G? I mean, it would be a perfect marriage given who is the head coach in New York.
I mean, that's true. I think they do if he's going to be out for the season. But this goes back to my point that I think they need to even shorten preseason more. Because not only does this hurt the Jets, if this was, don't get me wrong, Zach Wilson's not a big name yet. But just think like if this was like Tom Brady or somebody, it don't only hurt their team, but it also hurts the NFL when some of these players are out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what sucks about the preseason. I know they like the preseason because they get a chance to look at younger players and try to fill out their roster.
Yeah,
But it almost gets to the point where teams are getting to the point where they're not going to play their starters at all. So I mean, are you really learning much about your younger guys? You're just seeing them going against other younger guys that are in the same position. So isn't that something you could do at the joint practices? Since now they do these joint practices, isn't that something you can do at these joint practices and see these guys against other backups, and maybe shorten this preseason where at least I don't want to see nobody get hurt, but if at least players are getting hurt, at least it'd be in the regular season in a game that means something instead of a preseason game that means that almost absolutely nothing. So
right.
That's why I still think they need to change something with this preseason because this could change. Like this could ruin the Jets' whole season. Not saying they were going to be great, but this could change the whole directory of that team.
Well, this is the same thing that we see with college quarterbacks, right? They play in these meaningless bowl games, and sometimes you see the player get injured, and what does that do? It hurts their draft stock, and that's the same that happens in preseason games in the NFL. You see sometimes your key players getting injured, a player that's very important go down with an injury before the season even starts. And these games don't really matter. They're just games to help you prepare for the upcoming season, to get your body loose and fresh, and for you to warm up before the season starts. It's not that serious. But when you have a quarterback going down and looking at the severity of the injury, that brings up those questions about preseason. Is it too many games? Should we condense? Should we have a condensed preseason and not as many games as there are on the schedule? What's the point of playing all of these games? One or two will be just fine. We don't need to play 4 preseason games. That's just too many. And, it could jeopardize your player's season, and that's what we've seen here. Second-year quarterback Zach Wilson now injured his right knee on a scramble, in the first quarter of the preseason game. He was limping off the field, and it's not a good look. And a torn ACL could end your season before it even starts in preseason. So, I mean, yeah, is it worth the risk? Absolutely not. So I'm with you in shortening preseason because these games don't really matter anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd like to see something to do like that. But that's exactly why they won't, because of what my dad is saying. The NFL team ownership make a lot of money off preseason games because if you don't know this, when you buy season tickets, you get tickets to the two preseason home games as well in those season tickets, and they make money off concessions and the pro shop and all that stuff. So, I mean, yes, they do. They would don't cost the owners money, but if you're going to add another, they're talking about adding another. They've already added one game to the schedule, and if you're going to add another game to the schedule, why not shorten the preseason and just add another regular season game? And then you have this partnership supposedly that's going to be going on between the XFL and the NFL. Why not eventually maybe see where the XFL goes and somehow maybe get a partnership with them, and then that could be more of your development league, and then you wouldn't have to play the preseason games because you could see the young guys go against other young guys and stuff in a game situation. So maybe something like that. And that is the other thing about the preseason games. They charge full price, but you're not getting a full price product. And so I mean that's why I don't go to preseason games. Why am I going to pay full price because I'm a guy that maybe can afford to go to maybe one or two games a season. I just don't have that kind of money. Well, why am I going to waste one of them games on a preseason games paying full price and not get to see any of the stars or any of the basically starters play? You know what I mean? I'd rather spend that money on a game that means something, and I'm gonna get to see everybody out there playing at 100%.
Yeah, because the best product is not on the field during preseason games. So why would you pay a ridiculous amount of money to watch a preseason game that doesn't mean a damn thing? It's just a preseason game. And like you said, you're not going to see the star players. They only going to you might be lucky to see them play the first couple of downs, and then their night is done. And that's the last you will see them on the field. So, yeah, why would you waste your time on the preseason game? For us, we were doing it because it was actually cheaper, the tickets at SoFi Stadium. And, it would have been an experience for us to actually see SoFi Stadium for the first time and just to get to an actual football game. But in reality, you could watch a football game, a preseason game at that on TV. Best seat in the house. I got my flat screen in the background right now. The Dodger game is showing. That's the best seat in the house.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. I love going to the games, but if you can't get good seats, it's a lot. I'd rather just sit at home because you get a better view a lot of times. Dustin said he thinks that the Jets should pursue Tyler Huntley. I mean, that could be a possibility as well. I agree. I wish there was no preseason games. I've been saying that for a few weeks now. I don't know. You see these guys go down in games that don't mean nothing, and it just, I don't know. I understand that there is a purpose for the preseason games, but at some point you got to decide what's more important, and is it worth putting these guys at jeopardy in the preseason? Is what you're getting out of the preseason worth the risk?
The Rams are smart. They don't usually. Sean McVay doesn't usually play any of his starters.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, but I understand why they were trying to play Zach Wilson a little bit because
It's his second year.
It's only his second year. He needs some experience. I understand all that, and I completely I can you know what I mean, and I see the reason, but it just sucks because I mean if he did have say he plays better this year than last year, if he was going to, you just cost yourself at that, and I don't know. Sometimes I just don't think it's smart. But also, the best way to get experience is to be on the field. So it's a risk you got to take, and it just sucks that he might be done for the season now.
It's looking that way. It's not looking good at all for him. I'm pretty sure Jets fans have their fingers crossed, hoping for the best, but I don't know. That don't look good. And from what I read, it wasn't a good look for him at all. But this is what happens when you play in preseason games. This is what happens when you play in any type of football game, really.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
High risk of injury, no matter what.
Stat guy says perfect fit for the Jets. Doesn't even play in the United States. Levi Mitchell from Calgary. I've heard that name before.
Yeah, I heard that name before too.
But it's not clicking. Speaking of the NFL preseason, we've had some games tonight. Have you watched? I know you said you had a Dodgers game on in the background. Have you watched any of the preseason games tonight?
Nope, I have not watched one game at all. I am ready for the regular season to get started. Once the regular season gets started, I am completely locked into football. Like I said, I might have to hang up a do not disturb sign because once the season starts, my eyes will be, locked in. I'll be watching as many football games as I can and probably writing a number of columns on different football games as well. I know that September 8th one is huge for me when the Rams play the Bills. I believe that's on opening night. That's a Thursday night, September 8th. That game's at SoFi Stadium too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love football. Once football's on, that's what I'll be watching the most. I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch hardly none of the preseason. I've seen a few highlights come by on the TV, but I've been watching Little League baseball.
I watched a few games today.
I love watching Little League baseball. I was watching the regional championship games today as they finished rounding out the bracket for the World Series starting next week.
Mm-hmm.
We have a team that's like 35 minutes from here, Hagerstown, Indiana, that qualified for the Little League World Series. So I'm looking forward to that next week. I don't know. Once it's on, dude, that's what I watched all day. Plus, I've been watching some of this Bellator that's on tonight. But yeah, it's just hard for me getting preseason football. Now, once the regular season starts, that's what I watch. On Sundays, everybody knows you get a hold of me before the Colts game starts because you're definitely not getting a hold of me during the Colts game. But your best bet is to get home before the football games come on at 1 in the afternoon in Eastern because once football comes on, I'm usually not leaving.
Right. Yeah, that's me on a Sunday too during the NFL season. That sounds exactly like me. I'm tuned into all the games. I used to have the Red Zone. I used to have the NFL Sunday ticket, but that's pricey. The NFL
oh yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah, that's real expensive to see every game out of your region and games in different markets. It's worth it if you're a football fan. But it's costly. It's a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Well, I used to get it. But
yeah, I used to get it years ago, and my butt stayed on the couch all day.
Remind me when we're all fair, and I'll tell you what I use because you'll like it. You get every game. You can watch any game you want to watch.
Yeah, Red Zone.
No.
See, I used to have Red Zone too.
Well, I get the Red Zone channel on this. Yes. I get the Red Zone channel.
The Red Zone is cool
but you get the Red Zone channel. But I can go through any football game I want to. It don't have to be on my regional channel. I can get it on anything. like I said, I'll talk to you off air about it. But dude, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, I could imagine, especially if you're a big football fan.
Oh yeah,
It's definitely worth the investment and coming
yeah.
in.
When we end the show, stay on for a second. I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, because it's definitely worth it. No, I haven't watched much of the preseason. I'm looking forward to the regular season. Let's talk a little bit about these divisions in the AFC West. Man, it's gonna be you got just a bruiser of a division. You have the Kansas City that's been on top here the last 2 or 3 years, but now you got the Broncos with a competent quarterback in Russell Wilson. You have the Raiders with a new coach. Added Devontae Adams as a big weapon for their quarterback, Derek Carr, who I think is underrated in the NFL. And then you also have the San Diego Chargers, who I think improved their defense. They have a lot of weapons on offense, and they have a third-year Justin Herbert, who, if he plays anything like his first 2 years, is going to have another great season. Who do you think comes out on top in that division? And it's that division alone is going to make worth watching football every week.
Yeah, the talent is top notch. All of those teams can really put themselves in a conversation to finish at the top of the division. That's how stacked the AFC West is. It's probably the most exciting division in football when you look at how all the teams stack up on paper. I like the Chiefs. I like the Chargers. I really like the Raiders this year. I know Josh McDaniels is getting another crack at a head coaching job. He now takes over the reins as the head coach there in Las Vegas. Derek Carr reunited with his, former teammate from Fresno State, Devontae Adams. I can't wait to see that quarterback wide receiver combo. I think that's going to be fun to watch there. It should be epic theater watching that team. I did hear that Darren Waller got hurt though again, or he's out with an injury. As of right now, I don't know what the injury is. I don't know what his status is. And you when he does get back in the offense, he's huge. You plug him into the offense, and he changes the dynamic. You got a pretty decent defense. You got Jacobs, who runs the ball well when he's healthy and when he's on his game. I really like the Raiders. I don't know if I could put them at the top, but I think they are a wild card team. They definitely are a team to look out for. I just think they have tremendous talent. But in the Chiefs, man, you can't count them out either. You can't discount the Chiefs. Yes, the offense last season looked a bit stagnant at times. It was up and down. They had one of those roller coasters of a season, but can you really bet against Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes, we all know that he
but man, I understand what Patrick Mahomes has done, but
right.
We also saw defenses make Patrick Mahomes look bad last year. I think defensive coordinators are starting to figure out how to play against him. Yep. And is he going to be able to make an adjustment so he can stay at that same level? Because he has admitted that he's just now starting to learn how to read defenses. Right. Well, now that these defenses are adjusting to him, he's going to have to be able to read defenses and get his team in the right play. Yep. And I know everybody loves Mahomes, and he's a great talent. But there was a lot of times last year that some defenses made him look average. And
you're right.
And if he don't make some adjustments, the Chiefs could struggle this year, especially with losing Tyreek Hill and on offense. Because I think Kelsey's more important, but it's going to be interesting to see how Mahomes responds to the way some of these defenses have started to play more in that drop in coverage, and how he responds and who steps up for him who steps up on that offense to take Tyreek Hill's spot. especially when the play breaks down.
Yeah, you're right. Defenses have done a better job in neutralizing him, slowing him down. You know, uh, uh, slowing down his rhythm, taking him out of the game. You saw him last year in the playoffs, and he made some uncharacteristic throws. Didn't look like the Patrick Mahomes of old. Didn't look like the Patrick Mahomes who can spread defenses and make plays with both his arms and his feet. So yeah, he's definitely gonna have to make the adjustments and show that he can look great. I think he will be better this year. I think he will respond. Um, I think he'll have one of those bounce back years. I don't think he's going to be as shaky, and I don't think that offense is going to be as stagnant as it was a year ago. And remember who his head coach is, Andy Reid. Andy Reid is an offensive mastermind. He gets very creative with his offense, and he has shown that he can flourish and thrive with Patrick Mahomes at the quarterback position. I think Andy Reid needs Patrick Mahomes just as much as Patrick Mahomes needs Andy Reid.
So I agree with my dad here. The key is going to be their running game. If they can run the ball, they're going to be unstoppable. I think the Chiefs are going to have another good season. I do think I think the Chargers are going to be right there with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are probably going to win the West. I think it's going to be between the Chiefs and Chargers.
You think the Chargers finish second? Because I think the Chargers might finish second.
I think the Chargers will probably finish second. I think it's going to be between the Chiefs and Chargers battling it out. And the key is going to be who can win some of these division games.
Right.
Because that way, if you tie, you can have some tiebreakers.
Yeah.
I like the Chargers. The only thing that worries me about the Chargers a little bit, where I can't put them over the Chiefs, is their coach. Just because Staley, he's just too aggressive sometimes.
Too conservative. Too conservative.
Well, a lot of times he's too aggressive too.
Yeah.
Going forward on fourth down in your own territory when there's no reason to. Just he gets too aggressive. And unless he starts managing games better, that's what worries me. But, I mean, they got better on defense, getting Mack and getting J.C. Jackson. They have weapons on offense. I mean, they have what looks to be a complete team over there. And I'm looking forward. I think it's going to be between them and the Chiefs. But don't overlook the Raiders. If the Raiders can stay healthy and they get a running game out of Jacobs, they're going to be tough. With adding Devontae Adams to that offense, Derek Carr is a good, like I said, is an underrated quarterback. So I wouldn't overlook the Raiders. And the Broncos, I got them at last, but it's not because I think they're going to be bad. It's just because this division is so good. And I want to see how Russell Wilson looks outside of Seattle. I know a lot of us have said for the last couple of years that Denver's a quarterback away. They're a quarterback away. Mm-hmm. Well, now we're going to really find out if they were a quarterback away. I think they're going to be good, and I agree with Dustin. He made the comment up a few comments ago that all four teams will make the playoffs. I can see all four of these teams making the playoffs, getting the 3 wild cards. But no, I think it's going to be a great division to watch and a fun division to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. You can't sleep on Justin Herbert, man. He's an absolute stud.
Yes. My dad said he likes the Raiders better than the Chargers because of the Chargers coach. Well, I have something against the Raiders coach as well, because how's he going to look as a head coach on the second time around? He struggled. You saw what happened in Denver.
Right.
So that's one reason I hesitate on the Raiders a little bit as well, is because of the coach. Because I just don't know what McDaniels is going to do the second time around. Did he learn from the first get-go? Or is he going to try to do the same thing and be Bill Belichick again? Or is he going to come in and be Josh McDaniels and do his thing? If he comes in and does his thing and don't try to be like Belichick, I think he could be a great coach, because we know he knows offense. But we saw what he done in Denver, so I want to see what he does his second time around. Plus, it's kind of hard for me to give McDaniels any credit, because he was getting ready to get announced as the Colts coach and then changed his mind and decided to stay in New England.
Yeah. Yep.
But before we talk about another division, something I did want to talk about in football, we kind of talked about Darnold and we moved on. The Cleveland Browns started Deshaun Watson tonight in the preseason. What is the point of starting Deshaun Watson if you know he's going to be basically gone? You know he's going to be gone at least a year just because of everything that comes out. I don't agree with it, but that's what's going to happen. It looks like. So you know he's not going to play. So why not get Brissett and then your backups to Brissett these snaps in case something was to happen to Brissett? Because what is the point if he's going to be suspended the whole season? What's the point of him taking reps from them guys? It don't make a whole lot of sense to me. If you want to say, yeah, we got to keep him fresh a little bit, put him over with the practice squad or something and let him throw around to them guys while you guys are working, or something like that. I don't understand why they started them. It's kind of like for some reason the Cleveland Browns is trying to shove Deshaun Watson down the Cleveland Browns fans' throat. And for some reason, ever since they've got him there, it's kind of seemed like that. And it just don't make a lot of sense to me why you're waiting for this appeal to come out, why you would start him. I don't even think they played him very much. That was the other thing. If you're going to start him, why not play him and see what he looks like since he hasn't played for a while? Hell, why they play him? Maybe one or two plays. It just don't make no sense.
Right. It's the Cleveland Browns. A lot of things that the Cleveland Browns do doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Why are you starting this guy when you obviously know he's not going to play probably a down this season? He's not going to take a snap this season. So why would you not, start Jacoby Brissett, see what you have in him at the quarterback position, but again, the Browns are an interesting tale, and I mean, it's been like that for years with the Cleveland Browns. So yeah, this is a head scratcher. This one is questionable. But again, I'm not surprised by anything that the Cleveland Browns do, They made it really clear that they love something about Deshaun Watson. They traded for him, knowing that there was civil lawsuits pending against him for sexual assault, and they still wanted him to be that guy. They still paid him a boatload of money to be that quarterback. They still committed to him, long term. And it's obviously something that they see and that they like in Deshaun Watson. But you're probably gonna get a small glimpse of him this season, if that at all.
Yeah. I thought 6 games was plenty myself. I really did. I don't agree with what the NFL is doing by appealing this. I think it just don't make no sense to me. Why agree in the CBA to let it go? What was the point of this? Because in the CBA you put that it would go to independent arbitrator, but then why in the CBA would you put that then the NFL can appeal it? Then it's up to the NFL. That makes no damn sense. The guy that agreed to that on the NFL players side needs slapped.
Your dad says Cleveland ownership.
Oh yeah, I agree. But you see what I mean? The guy, it don't make. I don't know. It just don't make no sense.
I mean, that's why they got the nickname the Clowns, because they do clown like things, And this has created a media circus around that organization.
Well, but even the NFL, I think it makes the NFL look bad because the way that was set up. Whoever represented the Major League Baseball players whoever agreed to that, or the football players, they agreed to that. They need slapped because that makes no sense. Why would you give the power back to the NFL when they appealed it. If anything, it goes to a different independent arbitrator. It don't go back to Roger Goodell's desk and you're suspended for a year or indefinitely or whatever they're going to end up trying to do to him. I think it makes them look bad as well. And you're right, Cleveland doing this, knowing what everything that was going on, it makes them look bad. But I also think the way the NFL is handling it makes the NFL look bad as well.
Right, and you know what? It's gonna be Roger Goodell who takes most of the blame if he doesn't get suspended for a full season. He's gonna be the scapegoat.
So I don't think he should.
He really has nothing to do with it.
I don't think he should be suspended for a whole year.
Yeah, a lot of people have mixed reactions about it. There's some people who believe he should be suspended for the entire season, and there's others who believe 6 games were enough. You know,
I think 6 games is plenty, but hey, it's the world we live in today, and
it's a difficult topic. You know, it's really, really a touchy situation. You know, and it's one of those stories that's so complex that you may never have the right answer, you know,
yeah,
to the story. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where, you know, I kind of want to avoid talking about it, but I'm left with no choice but to talk about it because it has kind of entered the sports world.
Yep. Chris, I agree with you, but really, if things were ran correctly, a lot of players should not be in the league at all. No,
I completely agree with that too, because you had a lot of instances of domestic violence. The list goes on. You know, domestic violence, sexual assault. You know, hell, murder for all we know. You know, I mean, it's there's bad people in all professions. It's not just in the police department or the hospitals or in teaching. You hear on the news all the time about these stories where teachers have had affairs with students or they slept with one of the students in the class. Just sickening stories like that one. And it's in the NFL too. It's in the NBA as well. It's in MLB as well. There are players that live double lives, and they are doing some of the most wacky, sick, disturbing things behind the scenes that we just don't know about.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sitting here,
hey, does becoming rich just make your Here's my question: does becoming rich just make your common sense go away?
No, I think those people didn't have common sense to begin with.
Because I mean, some of the stuff that you hear, it's like, man, the amount of money you make, you could live off just the interest in a month. Yeah. You wouldn't even have to touch the money that's in the bank. You could just live off the interest each month. Seriously, I just don't understand it.
A lot of
people, dude, if I got a lot of money, I want a log cabin house, out on the outskirts of town with a pond, and I'd be cool.
I'd be cool too. Same here. But a lot of people, Chris, they don't use common sense.
I don't need no $5 million house.
Common sense. A lot of people have book smart. They have book smart. They're book smart. They have common sense. I mean, they're book smart. They have the knowledge. They get straight A's in school, but they don't have the damn common sense. And that's a lot of people. You see that around here where I live. I mean, a lot of these people are book smart people. You can tell. Good jobs, run businesses, but they don't have common sense. How do I know? Because I see how they drive. I see how they talk. I see some of the things they do through their actions and their body language. They just don't have common sense. But they could tell you things that you didn't know. Or that you might not know. That's just how it is.
And Dad's right. Is that yeah? In some cases, I think people do lose their common sense when they get the money. But he's right. All the media ever talks about is the people that mess up with that money. You never hear about the good stories about all the guys that get
Yeah.
that money and handle
Yeah.
it responsibly.
That's
So
because bad publicity is good publicity for the media or for anybody. I mean, negativity is what sells.
unfortunately, unfortunately, let's talk about the Rams division here. You think there's a, do you
Oh
think any teams in the division are going to be able to give the Rams a run for their money this season?
no, because the Seahawks are in a rebuild.
Why
They
you
don't
don't like
have
you don't like Geno Smith?
hell no. That guy was an utter joke with the Jets. No way. No, I would not. I would not feel confident about that guy running my offense. Not at all. But no, so the Seahawks, they're in the rebuild. They have a totally different team now under Pete Carroll. And then you look at the Cardinals. I mean, we really don't know much about them. I don't know how you can identify that team at this moment. I mean, I know they still have Cliff Kingsbury. I know people talk about how innovative he can be, how great he is working with quarterbacks. But you got the Kyler Murray drama. Kyler Murray, you know, has shown flashes of maturity, but he still lacks the leadership qualities that the team needs moving forward. And I feel like the Cardinals only paid him because they had no other option at quarterback, so they felt obligated to give him so much money, and they did. They made him that offer. He agreed to it, and now he's the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So I don't know about the Cardinals, man. To me, they're not as good as they were a year ago. I think the Rams easily run away with this division. I think the Rams are stacked. They're loaded with star power. They have all their returning players coming back. Matthew Stafford, and we don't really know his status on his elbow, but he's gonna play because this guy is tough, and he's a fierce competitor. He plays through injuries. We saw that with the Detroit Lions. So, I mean, to me, the Rams are the team to beat in the AFC West. You still got Aaron Donald coming off the edge. You added Bobby Wagner. He took the place of Von Miller after Von Miller departed and signed with Buffalo, who we will see in week 1 in the season opener. And then, you still got Jalen Ramsey, running things in the secondary. So the Rams are deep. They have a great team. And then you look on their offense, you got Cooper Kupp, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So I mean, you got a bunch of playmakers and you got a bunch of guys that can get the job done. So I'm going with the Rams to win that division. I got the 49ers finishing second. I think the 49ers are still an interesting case. Look, you got Debo Samuel. You still got a pretty good coach in Kyle Shanahan. And for some reason, the 49ers have been successful in recent years against the Rams. I mean, I know they lost to them in the postseason a year ago, but the 49ers have really challenged the Rams in recent memory. So, I mean, there you go. I think it's going to be a division between the Rams and 49ers. The other two teams are just kind of sitting back there as we try to figure them out still.
yeah, I agree. Jay McLovin, how about these Astros?
You know what? The Astros are doing their thing. I have to throw that out there, man. They're
Can
looking
I
like
come on laughing out loud?
I really like Alvarez, man. Alvarez is my guy, man. That dude is.
Jay McLovin, the Yankees are a farm system.
That's rude. That
Jay,
is rude. That's rude.
Jay, hey Jay, are you hitting the jack tonight?
Nah, I think he's just trolling right now.
Rams win their division, but won't make the Super Bowl. I kind of agree with that here. I think the Rams do win their division. I think the 49ers, it just all depends on, because I'm not sold on Lance.
Yeah, well, it's very rare to win back to back in football. You don't really see that too much. So yeah, there's gonna be some other teams that could give the Rams a run for their money if they meet in the playoffs. You still got Tampa Bay to worry about.
That's why John Suggs just asked about what happened in Tampa Bay.
You
They
got the
fell
Saints.
apart hard last 2 months. Dustin says, "Come on now, Judge. Shanahan is overrated and is only popular as he is because of his dad. Arizona has
Actually,
more weapons than San Francisco."
I think the problem with Shanahan is that he can't close things out in the fourth quarter because he tries to get too cute in the fourth quarter. That's what I noticed with him, and then he doesn't focus on the clock. He loses his focus, and I think it's poor game management towards the end of the game there. That's the only flaw I really noticed in Shanahan's coaching abilities.
The only thing that worries me about Arizona is Hopkins being out 6 games, and I just don't trust Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, Hopkins is going to be out for a while, yeah.
And 4 PEDs, but I don't trust Kingsbury as a coach. I think they need to move on from him. I just don't trust him. Hey Jay, I would send you the link and have you come on, but we're about ready to end the show for tonight. But we'll get you on. You're more welcome. Come on. We'll get you on maybe one day next week. We'll get you on. You're welcome. Come on anytime.
You got an open invitation from me, my friend.
But we're about at the end of the show for tonight. But yeah, Dustin says, Gonzo, you better be sold on Lance. I'm telling you, the kid is legit.
Nah, I don't know. We haven't seen much on him yet. We don't have much film on him. We don't have much of anything to go by.
Jay said you putting on some weight?
Yeah, because I'm drinking a lot of beer and eating a lot of food that I shouldn't be eating. I'm eating a lot of junk food. So, yeah, I'm picking up a little weight. But the thing with me is that I could lose this weight so quick. That's the thing with me. I go.
When you get back to work, you probably will lose a little bit of it because you'll be more active, I would say.
I'll be more active, obviously. But, the thing with me is that I eat in spells, So there's months that I go crazy for food. Like I might have so much fast food or junk food. And then there's months where I'm just settling down and not eating as much. I'm eating less. I'm not eating all that junk. There's months that I can go without beer. And then there's months where I just go all in for beer. Like right now, I've been going all in for beer. But, I can change my diet so quickly. It's unbelievable.
Kingsbury should have been gone. Starts hot and come week 7, they are trash. Yeah, I don't trust Kingsbury either. I watched some of the Cardinals because that's my son's favorite team. So I watched some of the games with him, and I'm a big Colts fan, but I'm just not a Kingsbury fan. I think Kyler Murray has potentially shown flashes. I need to see him be more consistent for a whole season.
And John, I think with Kingsbury, he's more fit to be a college coach, not an NFL coach. I think if he does get fired this season, I think in a short time you'll see him back, coaching a program somewhere at the college level.
Oh yeah,
I think that's where he.
Well, you got to remember, he got fired as the head coach in college, took an offensive coordinator job, and then like 3 weeks later, resigned from there and went to the NFL. So, I mean, he got fired as a head football coach in college and still got an NFL job.
He did. And I think that happened to Jim Harbaugh too, right? Or did he leave? Did he leave Stanford or did Stanford fire him?
Oh, he left Stanford to go to the NFL.
Okay. And then it didn't work out the first time around. It didn't work out in the NFL at all, right?
Oh no, he had good years in the NFL in San Francisco. He went to the Super Bowl.
He went to the Super Bowl in 2013. You're right.
And I think they were in the AFC Championship game another year.
That's with Colin Kaepernick. And
he was the one that started. Yeah, he was the one that put Kaepernick in over Smith.
Right. You're right. And then he took the Michigan job because that was his dream job.
Yeah. And he almost left Michigan this year to come back to the NFL, but then he decided to stay in Michigan.
That's what it was. That's where I got confused. Yeah, I remember that Super Bowl where he coached against his brother. That was the year the Ravens played the 49ers.
Yep. Well,
that was the final year of Ray Lewis's career too, because he retired after that game.
Thanks, Jay, for sharing the show. We appreciate it. Like I said, you're more welcome to come on anytime. We'll get you on maybe. Hey, even if you want to come on Monday night, you're more welcome to. Before we get out of here for tonight, I'm glad Jay said something about sharing the show. That's something everybody needs to keep doing on all the networks. I've seen a lot of people in here tonight from the network. We appreciate that. Appreciate everybody in the chat group. We want to be interactive with the comments. So we appreciate everybody. Jay McLovin said, "John, you got great skin tone."
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
But before we get out of here for tonight, I don't know where that came from. But before we get out of here, you got any final thoughts, Judge?
Man.
Oh, I have one real quick. One other quick. We'll do Monday because we was going to do it tonight, and I forgot. Monday, let's talk some college football because we got college football getting ready to start up and be hot.
14 more days.
So we'll talk some college football Monday night. Of course, we'll talk some baseball, talk some NFL. We appreciate like I said, we appreciate everybody that's been watching. Numbers for the first 3 or 4 episodes have been actually a lot better than what we probably thought they would be to start off. So and that wouldn't be possible without you guys. So we appreciate that. But Judge, what's your final thoughts for this Friday night?
It's Friday night and I feel all right. And the party's here on the west side. That's how I'm feeling tonight. I feel great. This was another great episode. Let's keep killing it. And again, I want to thank all our viewers out there. Without you guys, none of this is possible. You guys make it happen. So we appreciate it. And I just want to thank all of you guys for, taking the time out of your night to join us for some sports talk. We have a lot of fun with you guys. You guys are like family, so you guys are more than welcome to keep tuning in each week. And this show will get better as football season returns. The NBA will be back shortly.
NFL less than 5 weeks.
College football. There will be plenty to talk about. Trust me, we won't let you guys down. So keep coming around, keep listening to our show, and share it. I can't emphasize that enough. Share it with as many people as you guys know. Tell your friends about it. Tell your neighbors about it. Tell your loved ones about it. Tell your family. Tell everybody you know. Tell the person in the coffee shop when you see them in the morning. Tell them about this show and how awesome, the guys at our network are as well, because we have a great team over here at ASAP. It's a family-like atmosphere. Everyone on here is kicking ass. Everyone on here takes this very seriously. Everyone is working very, very hard to be great each day. And this is my famous saying. and I think Chris heard this before, and I tell people this every day. Be safe, be great, and do positive things. And if you do that, you will be just fine in life. So always stick to those three things: be safe, stay positive, and do great things.
Yeah, we got my final thoughts. A lot of great sports this weekend. If you're a UFC fan, there's a free UFC card on tomorrow night. I think it starts at 7. You'll still have some of the Little League Baseball regionals playing this weekend on their to try to qualify for the World Series coming up next week. You'll have, of course, a lot of Major League Baseball going on as we're getting closer and closer to start getting where the nitty gritty where we start talking playoffs. But the judge said, we got a lot of sports coming because you're going to have football back. Then before you know it, right after that, the NBA's back, college basketball. So everything will pick up again here real soon. Well, Judge, you have anything else before we get out of here for tonight?
No, I've said everything I wanted to say.
All right. Well, don't forget, new baseball show, 9:00 Monday morning. Check it out on the Gonzo Sports Room, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also, don't forget new Colts show, Horseshoe Talk, every Monday and Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. Our first show will be this Monday, so come join us for that as well. Don't forget, I have my Easy Money, a sports betting show, every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern on the Gonzo Sports Room, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also on the ASAP Sports YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So come join me for that. Other than that, have a great weekend.
Don't forget to follow me on YouTube. Yes, follow my YouTube channel. Here it is. If you guys have to screenshot it, do whatever you guys got to do. Follow this page, guys. Follow this channel. Follow the page also on Facebook. Chris knows where it's at. Chris follows me there as well, the Sports Judge.
My dad says, final thought, Astros lose to the Dodgers in the World Series. Jay said, this show is amazing. Good job, guys. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Please say the Astros number 1 in the AL, please. The Astros are number 1 right now. Look at the comment. But
hey, you and my cousin would really get along. My cousin Hope, she's a diehard Astros fan. She's all she lives out there.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. Make sure you watch the shows. Come join us Monday night. Share the show. Please hit subscribe on the Gonzo Sports Room YouTube page and on the Facebook and Twitch. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all Gonzo Sports Room. That's where I post all the information about the shows. But we appreciate everybody watching. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys Monday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, for some more Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk.
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays.